friend of mine, a Jamaican friend of mine, because they're big on it, Jamaicans. In London, I used to play. So I thought, you guys will play. Yes.
So what made you think it was drums?
Drums, because I saw it from an angle. Because I've been standing in the sun.
You saw this from an angle?
Yeah, I've been standing in the sun all day, so I see pretty damn clearly, but also because of the sunshine in my eyes, if I look at a certain angle on things, it takes about an hour now for my eyes to settle down. I can't even use
to understand.
I can't even use the computer properly.
Okay.
I'll sit down in about an hour and be down on the computer.
Okay, sure. It was. What the fuck was he saying?
He thought you were playing drums.
Oh, not drums. Drums. It's that game that looks like chess.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but this is not close to a square. This thing.
As he tells you that his eyesight is fucked up. He saw us sitting and looking down and he thought we were shifting.
Oh, we're doing moves.
Exactly.
Oh, but he looks like a special kind of guy.
He's from the UK. He failed in the UK and came to South Africa. That's my narrative. I still believe in freedom of speech.
He failed, you mean, in terms of what? Like life? No, because it looks like it's in the streets. The only audio we're hearing now is Memory's audio at the background. The only voice we're hearing in this podcast is Memory's voice. I don't know, why are you guys loud? Why are the Zimbabweans louder than Nigerians? What the fuck is this?
Their houses are distant apart from each other.
So they need to wake up in the morning and say, "More of the world." And the voice box is used to. Oh, there you go. Well, I was asking him why is
Should I come and sit also so they can see me?
Remember, nobody has to see you. So now, but the thing is, the noise thing makes sense. How your next neighbor? Is it next door neighbor? Next door neighbor, does that word exist? I mean, can those two words go together? Next door neighbor.
Next door neighbor, yes.
And can a neighbor be a next door?
As long as there are doors.
Double.
As long as there are doors, it's fine.
Yeah. No, but let's explain. Memory, before you go back inside.
Yes.
Next door neighbor is the closest individuals from your yard. How far were they? I think let's test this hypothesis of distance.
It depends on how your houses are structured.
Yeah, but well, how far? Were they next, were they here by the robots?
On a plot, your next door neighbor is the next
day
plot.
It's 1 day away. No, but Memory, how far was your next door neighbor, if I can say that?
English was not for me.
Okay, the next people that lived next to you, were they there by that house or were they next?
Next door?
Nearby?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, sure. I was asking. You good? Okay. So it means that this thing is not correct. It's not correct. It doesn't happen.
Who am I to judge?
Wait, Aston, we're recording.
Oh.
Yeah. Aston is a security guard. Yeah. He just came to micromanage everything that is going on. Okay, how about you know what, Aston? If you want to manage something, the sun. Can you pull it up a little bit? Mm-hmm. Bring it back up. The sun.
Rewind.
Nah, just rewind it a little bit because now it's dying on us. And then bring back some summer because it's getting cold. If you want to do something serious, do that.
Let's do next winter.
No, if you want to remove this tripod we have, and you can't micromanage the fucking movement of the sun, then leave us alone.
And with Austin, I know he can even bring back Christmas.
Fuck. Can you bring back Jesus?
No, but Christmas.
Or Christmas. Meaning that you can.
Put it on rewind.
Yeah, so we eat Christmas in advance.
Oh, fuck. It's crazy. Okay, those who don't know, Aston is the guy who takes care of us in this complex. So going back to, we were talking about what? The noise, the sound. And then, oh my God, it's coming back.
Do you have to bring God into it?
Oh, no, I didn't mean to. It was just an expression.
I don't think the godly guys and the Christians will appreciate it.
Especially for a Sunday. They want,
Especially for a Sunday.
they want it all, man. So, but you know that when I met you last year, out of all the statistics of Corona, I thought maybe you were going to be dead from the virus. And you're still alive.
Do I look like a statistic?
I don't know. I heard it kills old people.
I am a father.
You're like 100 years old.
I am a father's son. He taught me how to breathe.
Actually, talking about the breathing part, talking about the breathing part, what I've got an issue with, don't you think the solution? Okay, my memory is not focusing.
No.
She didn't bring your drinks, and then she's putting out the sound, and now it's gonna disturb our audio. Memory, you're not focusing. You're taking up the music, and then now it's disturbing our audio. So now they're not gonna hear us that side.
I never take any music up.
Okay, this thing is playing because
It's getting excited just because of our conversation.
No, I never play. You know, songs on YouTube, they're different songs when they're playing.
also are you really gonna blame YouTube?
Yeah?
You're gonna blame YouTube?
No, but serious, no, like every song has got a beat.
Should I call
I never
YouTube?
increase any
Should I
volume.
call
because I was-
YouTube and say there's volume management
Ask them on the songs.
missing?
When it comes to songs, there's some songs they've got a loud volume, some they don't have enough volume.
Okay, before you took up the music, I was asking him. I was asking him why he fuck. Hallelujah. Oh.
You were talking about Bible. What about guys?
Fuck this guy. Isn't this like ear abuse? This is like sound pollution.
You almost
Fucking
killed me.
bikers.
I don't know how many decibels are there.
I almost
That's like
killed-
decibels on steroids. No, remember I was asking him why he didn't die from COVID. He's like, it's not the dying type.
This one.
Yeah.
It's a Sweet 16, forever strong.
Mm.
Machine.
No, but maybe it was just
It's
lucky.
too much stress.
Lucky.
No, next one.
You see now, it was loud, but now
I think the motorbike kind of like killed our eardrums. So that guy's on that motorbike the whole day like that, hearing that noise
He enjoys it.
without earplugs.
And he's deaf.
Oh, do you say? Yeah, that will make you deaf.
how do you know he's deaf?
Yeah, so I don't know. So let's start from the
You're
beginning.
saying
Let's start from the beginning. I think ever since I met you guys here at this area, I came this side around like 2.5 years ago. So what happened is that in the past we had people fighting for freedom, right?
yeah.
That fight has been abused currently because there's people who claim that because they were in the fight, now they own the government.
The victors will always make rules and regulations that suit them in every situation. If you are victorious, you change the rules to suit you.
Okay, so are we really gonna have a prolonged abuse of state money from the offsprings of freedom fighters?
You can call it abuse depending on where you come from.
Abuse would mean that
Because if you say abuse, it's like you are comparatively speaking, the previous government
was also doing the same shit.
abused our money.
Yeah, okay, so what, are we really gonna relegate our principles to the previous government's principles
No.
because they were doing it?
Everybody for himself and God for us all.
Because do you know why I'm saying this thing? When the virus hit us last year, it was around this time, Well, the first lockdown was probably end of last year. We're almost above a year on this thing. So there is somebody who was just waiting to take the money of what does PPE stand for again? Personal protection equipment.
Protective clothes.
Yeah. There's somebody who was just waiting to take that money and go buy a car. There's some boy who was flossing cars in fucking what's this thing? That township here by the south. Soweto. He bought everybody, and I think he's in trouble now with the SARS. They're trapping him, and he showed it into the public space. So how the fuck do you explain this thing? So you would have a guy who's willing to let people die because they don't have respirators in the hospital because he bought a Porsche. I mean, one Porsche can probably buy how many respiratory machines? I mean. So there's a few people that died because this motherfucker didn't buy them, and he bought cars with the money that he said he's gonna buy PPE. On that purchase order, I'm sure there was not fucking Porsche written. Was
You have to listen. That guy, his responsibility was not to keep people alive. It was to make money. Those who scrutinized and checked him out on the purposes that he wanted to fulfill should be able to answer those questions. What criteria did you use to employ this guy?
To get the deal.
Exactly.
Okay. I wonder how he sleeps at night knowing that.
Fortune favors the prepared mind. If the guy's mind was prepared, he benefited from that.
That's if he even has a mind. Okay, so it means that now in this case, it kind of like kills my argument of saying or freedom fighters. I'm sure he's a child of a very connected politician. And because that's how this country's been
And it
micromanaged.
depends on the definition of a freedom fighter. Because freedom fighters, to me, are not those who went to exile.
It's not those who went to exile.
No. I was in the country for a very long time. And there was never a dull weekend of not having to bury a comrade internally. Yes. Those people are those who fought and died. You can't go away for so many years, come back scratchless, and then say, I fought for this country. How?
So the ones who were gone, yes, Barry. The ones who were gone were much safer outside. Probably.
Of course. Yeah, it was our daily bread.
Yeah, you're good. How are you? You wanna join us?
I'm good in our
We're recording.
Alan?
Asante. You good? I was late for the recording with Barry earlier on, so I decided to
Fix someone's light there.
Can I find?
But I thought he's gonna. That's why I didn't want to take him early because he said you come in.
I'm not fine.
Did some buying and come back. I see he's still here. Then it was around 3. Then I phoned my friend. I reckon he's coming now.
No, you can join us here. Just ask Memory to kill the sun a little bit. You can join us and we can intertwine the conversations. But I told you that he was the guy we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna link it very well. I've got a link on this thing. Barry is from an era of Y2K. He used to have IT solutions for most businesses in the country.
Yeah.
Right. So me and you right now we're talking about the time of which years were this? This is the 70s. This is the 70s, ne? When the guys who were fighting and the others were in exile, I think.
The 70s, especially 1976. That's
which caused an uproar.
Flags of guys deciding to go into exile to prepare themselves for war.
Yeah, this is like undercover war. I mean, undercover undercarpet military
Guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla warfare. Are we gonna fit in this thing?
Carry on.
Oh, okay.
That's some substance.
Oh, okay, sure. That's fine. Yeah, he's gonna come in as a part of Y2K. Because apparently he made millions from Y2K.
Who?
Yeah, very.
Cut my legs and call me.
He says so. He says so. And that's what I'm interested on. Because I want to know where the money went, because he says now he doesn't have money anymore.
What?
I'm telling you. I mean, if you had $1 million 20 years ago, today you should
Now you can cut my legs and call me short.
Yeah. Oh, I can call you Mamboch. You know. So, but do you think these fights for freedom were worth it?
Baba, every effort. You will talk about a fight that never took place.
Like what? Verbally? You mean like mentally?
Engaging in a war.
Like a dialogue.
We never engaged in war tactics. There was no stage where the Umkhontho sizwe was standing and fighting with the South African Defence Force. No.
But it was getting ready to do what? What was it training for? What was the purpose?
Make this country ungovernable
Because
by the National Party.
by the National Party,
Yes.
which was the NP, which was being run by who? The de Klerks and them up there. Okay, but now I once worked with this guy incorporated. I think a decade ago, he used to tell me that Mandela was a terrorist, and then there was an argument. So that day,
It depends on your definition
what it means
of a terrorist.
And I used to, and then sometimes I would hear it on TV randomly. So, but now there's only one occurrence, and I asked him to show me evidence of this nonsense that he's talking about.
What is it?
Apparently, there was a bomb that was put. I think it was one of the buildings. I don't know if it was in Soweto, and those boys were soldiers or something. Remember, the strategy of Mandela was that so you should actually tell me better than what I see or read in the books or see in the movies or hear on the internet, whatever. The strategy was that you can destabilize but don't kill, right? Don't compromise human life, right?
Our human life.
Our
As
human
long as you kill
life.
the opposition, you are on the good cause. Because those are the oppressors. If you go into war, the first thing to do is strategize. What war are we fighting? A liberation war. We want to be liberated from what?
No, okay, so it was apartheid.
Oppression of the apartheid system and whatever. That's where we go. So whoever protects the apartheid system is a victim.
Okay. It's more or less like a collateral damage. Because even if you wanted to destabilize the economy by bombing that power station, and the one guy was just sitting there, maybe you didn't see him. Maybe they didn't see him. Because then the guy I was arguing with, I literally went with him, and he showed me the guy. One arm is missing, and then it was off. But now those guys are now protected in corporate South Africa, and they're sitting there. You see, they're working there. Remember, the question is the military of the former apartheid military. The question is, where are these boys sitting now? They're all protected by
That's where
corporate
reconciliation.
Yeah. So he showed me this guy. I'm like, oh wow. And he's like, yeah, that was Mandela's bomb. I'm like, okay. Did Mandela know that he was gonna bomb people? A person. If he knew deliberately, I doubt. Okay, well, I don't know him personally, but I doubt it was gonna be designed like that. I think maybe we can arguably say collateral damage. Well, let's not dwell on the bombing side of things. But the politics of this country are still in transit, because I still don't see anything going on. I don't see anything happening. Yes. So I still don't see transformation. It has been about 26 years. 26 years. Do you see any changes?
The thing is, from those who come from the old apartheid system, they've seen a lot of changes. From guys like yourself who are young, you think it's taking too long.
But what is long and what is short?
That's exactly what I want to ask from you.
Maybe I'm going to ask Alan to turn down the volume a little bit.
That's what I want to ask from you. Long.
Okay. Look.
Long can be longer because of one other thing that we never experienced in our life.
Okay. I'm what, 37? This year, 10 days.
That's all.
That's all I have. How long do you have? What, you're in your 80s, 70s, 80s?
105.
So, well, what is long in that context? So you're mid times 2, right? In terms of longevity, in terms of lifespan. Because for me, long, 25 years is long.
When it comes to liberation, there's no time limit. Everything is late because we were born liberated and somebody decided to oppress us. So, what time frame would you like to put to?
It's relative because for a 5-year-old, long is 1 year. For a 10-year-old, long is 2 years. For a 20-year-old, probably long is 3 years, and so on and so forth. But for me, I think it's enough time for us to see some changes. Something. We still have townships. What nonsense are we holding here? With townships. We still have fucking townships in 2021.
The thing is,
7 years later.
If you were the president of this country, would you get rid of townships?
No. Oh, well. Fuck, that's it. Okay, I wouldn't. Okay.
You know
that's not a fair question because it's not a fair question.
There is pride in living in the township. Not everyone wants to move to the suburbs.
Well, no. I'm not talking about the townships that are doing well. I'm talking about like squatter camps.
Squatter camps.
Should I mention names?
Can I?
The guys by Jaske River. Do you think they want to stay there? Do you really think those
one?
I've got a pride on staying by that.
If it was not for those people, we would never have had Diepsloot. All the people in Diepsloot are from Alexander.
Yeah, but do you think they've got pride on staying
they
there
go
by that thing?
No. That is the easiest entrance of all foreigners and everybody. When you move people from there to a better place, others come in and occupy the same place so that you can do the same for them.
Is it an influx? Because
it's a never-ending story of hate.
But there's an added what? There
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And then, because I've realized for the past 2 decades, most of the people in the African continent have been relying on South Africa for monetary benefits and economically, basically the economics of Africa is sitting in South Africa. Can I say that?
South Africa
my English is just running away from me now. But
Egypt.
And Egypt, right?
Yes.
Also South and North. Okay.
So
we're attracting all the entire continent to come this way or that way. But in Egypt, I don't see a lot of people from Mid-Africa in Egypt.
Egypt.
Besides our guy who used to coach, what's his name? It's the only guy that I know was there.
Where are my lies?
And apparently I heard that they want to appoint him as the coach of the national team as well. It's the only guy I know in Egypt. So I tried to remember there's Nigerians, like the same number of Nigerians in Egypt as South Africa and Zimbabwe. No, I don't think so. So I think South Africa is probably the economic hub of this continent.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
There's something we're doing right. Our house is not really in order. we are fucked up. We are corrupt.
Before you worry about the house, worry about the bedroom.
Yeah, but how do you start fixing this thing? Because now people will start asking for solutions, and how are you gonna get them?
Are people saying this thing needs to be fixed?
To be fixed? Yeah. Look. Okay, let me give you an example. I was born in Venda, Pando. I'm sure I've told you this a million times. There's a Department of Public Works. There's a guy who drives out of the yard of that Public Works every day to go fix the road, man. Outside that gate, there's a huge pothole.
Yep.
For years. Yes. It's there outside. So next time I go there, I'll show you.
He
doesn't fix that. No, he doesn't see it. He goes to fix the others. He goes to fix other roads. He can fix the one right outside the fucking yard.
Africanism goes a long way in dictating your state of life. There's a saying in Africa, especially in South Africa, charity begins
At home.
So you can't go out and start addressing other people's issues without having addressed your
own internal affairs.
Oh no!
But he has never. That thing is that pothole is there. And the other day I deliberately turned that way to see if it's still there. And I'm talking about years, Chief. Unless if it keeps coming back and they keep fixing it. So that's why I'm saying, why don't we also fix our internal shit here? Because now
maybe he's using the pothole to identify his place.
fuck, like a landmark. No, man, it's just stupidity. Because what I've realized in this
That's
country,
exactly what I like about South Africa. Everybody is very quick to judge.
no,
You are
well,
stupid. You are.
Nah, but it's stupidity. Well, I'm also one of the people who will try to judge and analyze. But to be honest with you, there are certain things that we can do right. Remember the entire population, 60 million people rely on one guy to make a decision with this cabinet. And
One
under
guy.
those people, like a president.
Who's the guy?
Like your president. But he has got people under.
He does not make those decisions in isolation.
Yes, what I like about this
He's
one,
got support
what I like about the
structure.
current president, not that I'm being biased, what I like about the current president is that he consults. Okay, well,
Yeah.
let me not talk about the previous one. I'm just telling you what I like about the current one.
Cut my legs.
I didn't say anything, right? Because, and then now, in fact, if you go look back into the time of negotiations, when you guys were fighting for the freedom, he was probably in the middle.
Why are you calling me a plural? You guys.
How should I address you? Braids. Okay, when everybody else, how do I put you? Everybody else was right. I mean, he was negotiating between the two sides.
Who's that?
Our current president.
Yeah.
He was, right? He played a big role, right?
He was identified by Nelson Mandela himself that, look, we can't all dwell on politics.
Forever. We have to make a decision.
Economic liberation is necessary.
Very critical.
I am releasing you, Cyril, to go and structure them.
And he played that role very well, I think.
Of course. And you can't get out of it poor. You should lead by example.
Well, somehow when you make political dealings, they should be monetary value. And you're also working, by the way. And remember, the movement doesn't pay you as if you're working at a spaza shop.
I was at
Protea
Protea
at a shop,
Hotel
yeah.
and I met Rolf Meyer.
Who's that
Do you
again?
know Rolf?
Name sounds familiar.
He was same time that Cyril was deployed for financial what?
To go negotiate.
Yes. The roof mayor was deployed by the National Party.
Oh, to talk to us.
No, for them, him and Cyril,
To
to find common ground of how does this go forward.
So there's some sort of a synergy without bloodshedding.
Yes.
Okay. And he played that role very well. Because I always ask myself...
Even the Irish invited them to come and try and resolve their problems in Ireland.
Why were they getting...
Because of the achievement they made in South Africa.
Oh. So the street credibility on dispute, dispute resolution got international attention.
Yep.
Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay, wow. I didn't know about the island part.
Now you know.
I just knew, thanks for that. I just knew that he was resolving a lot of problems. And now you see kids today, like the opposition parties of these small boys, these other ones who think they're radical, these pseudo-woke politicians who think they're going to come and just talk nonsense. They never touch on those things.
The thing is, they also have their freedom of speech.
Yeah, we can give them enough freedom of speech, but they don't have to terrorize.
Harry can say whatever he wants to.
No, but they can have their freedom of speech, but they don't have to terrorize our society.
Is our society being terrorized?
No, but they do. You know, these boys, they even tell these kids to go break a complex. Or the other day they broke cliques. Or the other.
Whose kids are those? The parental
the ones that don't need
factor,
them, the ones that
you
don't.
are not bringing it in.
I don't
Naughty or just.
But they listen to these boys, man. The other day they even went to break H and what? The other clothing shop, H&M. But when the people that investigate things in the country follow the card that sits with this guy, who tells people what to do, it also swiped at H&M. That after the strike.
And what did they do about it?
Nothing. No, remember those ones? It's like, I don't know if it's like they're zombies or like they're not thinking.
That is your generation. You are quick to criticize without any convenient or substantive reaction.
So basically, we've got a guy who runs a political party who tells people to go break a shop, but he buys there. In a nutshell, that's what happened.
Strategically,
I can pull this. He just like, okay, well,
he's a small,
but we can pull this evidence now. We have it.
He's a small businessman. Every businessman needs to benefit.
Yeah, but with the politics of so these politics are of businesses. They're not of politics for radicalism, but it's a fake revolutionarist.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Please do.
You can come.
Please do.
Or is it? You can come and tell.
This is a nation building.
It's a free country.
It's a free country.
Yeah.
Well, let me see.
I know it's fine. You can see that sign.
Okay.
I don't think we'll have enough space.
My name is Issaya.
Issaya.
Madikane got speed. It's Madikane.
Oh, la. Hey, COVID.
Don't worry.
Mr. Tshabalala, I didn't introduce you.
You didn't.
Chief, we are doing a podcast, but I didn't introduce you. So maybe let's start there.
It's a broadcast.
It's a podcast. It's not going live. Okay. Well, it is, but you know what I mean.
Anyway, I'm not visible.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you should see that side.
Side.
You want to talk? Do you want to defend what I was talking about? It sounds like you're here to defend the others.
No. I'm here.
Never act like a shop steward.
No,
this is not a shop steward platform.
I'm not a shop steward. I'm just going to say, I heard the last conversation that you said about H&M and stuff.
When Julius told the supporters to go break the shop, but his card was swiping in the fucking shop.
That's
What's that? Isn't that hypocrisy?
It's immaterial. The point is, okay, I'm not EFF. Let's start there. I'm just analyzing.
No, we are not anything as well.
You are a South
South
African.
You are a
African
person.
trying to make a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I can. Look at it this way. You know? There is this narrative now that is currently happening in terms of the public sector. That is
Public sector.
Yeah, corrupt and all that stuff. And where I work is a lot of private people working there. And
Are you in government or private?
I'm in government.
Government, okay.
But I deal
But
with
private deals with government.
Exactly, it's
Alright. Okay, you don't have to
So-
tell us which part, but
it's intertwined.
Alright, sure.
Basically, what happens is
Memory.
there's a lot of things happening in the private sector.
Mr.
for some
Tshabalala.
reason, we just want to leave it and say no. Because it's everything in private, and private is not funded by tax, so let's leave it that way. So
I missed
what-
that. Say that again. Sorry. I was trying to.
My point is like there is this narrative that is going on around, especially these days, even in the previous government and stuff.
You mean
that-
which previous, the prior 94?
Prior 94.
Oh, okay.
That everything that is private.
Why did you say Tshabalala only?
I don't know. What should I say?
Memory, Tshabalala, Nipro.
Oh, sorry. Are you good then?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then
Yeah.
on you. Or on him.
On him.
The other one was on.
Darling, I'm wasting a lot of oxygen trying.
So you're billing for this podcast? Okay, go on. So what are you saying? They don't acknowledge the business part of private and government
Yeah.
at a level that it should be respected. That's what you're saying.
This narrative that, this, I don't know, who's pushing the idea or the ideology that only public can be corrupt, which is vice versa for me. I mean,
No, all businesses are corrupt. Most major businesses, even private.
Exactly.
I was stuck in a private system for like a good 6 years. And the corruption there is cool, eh? It's very good, like nice.
It's got its own ways.
Yeah, it has got its own
Divide-
jargon.
Yeah, there's
They've got a
different
glossary.
ways of communication.
They've got a glossary of terms of jargon.
Yeah. All those other, but it's the same thing.
The same thing, yeah. Stealing is
My
stealing.
point was saying is like, as much as the guy purchased whatever at certain shop, yet he was discouraging people to do whatever. People can do can have a good cause, but do it wrongly. The cause was good, but the way it was done incorrect.
So then are we justifying this guy?
A good cause.
The cause was good, but the way it was done, it was not done correctly.
So ultimately, is it a good cause or not?
It's a good cause, but the way it was
Because
executed.
it was a protest.
The
Yeah.
bad
No.
destroys everything.
They destroyed all the shops. Like fuck.
You see, but the execution somehow in this the so-called democracy, it was not done the correct way. But the cause was good.
Okay. Because I heard through the grapevine, I don't know how true this is. Apparently, they even gave him money to make those kids stop going to destroy the shops.
That's hearsay.
That's hearsay. I can't validate this.
proven?
It's all the protests in the ANC, in the
apparently
blockchain. It's like rent the crowd and
Rent
even
the crowd,
DA.
yeah, ne?
It's for it
Because they say apparently
politics.
the money went in. I think it was 2 million. They gave him the money and then he calls his dogs off the shops. Apparently.
To be honest,
So this is extortion, for lack of a better word.
I'm not a big fan of the name. I've got differences with him and agreements and disagreements and where we can agree on stuff. But the way he does things is not the way I would like to do things.
But his ideology is not bad.
Ideology is not bad, but it's the execution.
Because his ideology is similar to the ideology that formed Umkhontho and sizwe back in the day, and all this. I mean, right? From a developmental perspective in terms of the country, how to what's this thing that we keep discussing? What's this PPD? PP? The acronyms fuck me up in the public development plan. what's the plan again? PPD.
Like
The plan.
police.
Yeah, the police. It's what do you call it? PPD or whatever.
I forgot, yeah.
But it has a plan for humanity of South Africa to go forward. They've always had it, but now what they also they're trying to run it, especially that other one, the Shangan one, the smart one, Floyd. He's the one who's.
Do you call Floyd smart?
No, he is. I think his IQ is higher than his president's IQ. Am I lying? I mean, really, let's be honest. He's smarter than the president.
Who am I to
Well,
judge?
look, let's not even go there. I don't want us to politicize this thing, but their ideology is correct. They just migrated some policies of the ANC to their own thing. You know, it's like you know what I hate about what's going on now. It's when these political parties keep breaking up. In the beginning, you had. Are you gonna say? I should not say you guys, ne? You're gonna say I'm not supposed to say you guys, but you had a structure to say we are so many, we are 50 people. But now the 50 people are 10. And then when you break up, do you know what happens? You become weak. The others are not breaking up. The oppositions never break up. How many times has the ANC broken up over the past 20 years?
See what you are saying. Okay. But I didn't give him that a chance. He hasn't said anything since I came in. Maybe he's observing. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to talk too much. Yeah.
No, I still want to hear what he means by you guys.
Oh,
When
okay.
people
I mean-
call me a plural, I get very worried.
Okay, I mean, how do I?
Which side of the
You're fucking
fence
me up with this
does
one.
he stand?
But it's so funny. It's so funny. Not at the same time because
I must connect you with Skumba.
Yeah, you say
you see what you are saying is actually what other people are saying in the ANC.
the breakage, right?
Yes.
The functions.
Exactly.
Which we have another function now, which is the most stupid function ever. Right now, there's nobody who qualifies to be a president.
But nobody
beyond
wants
this.
to be the bigger man and say, guys,
So we're
this
always gonna have
direction-
this
direction
nonsense.
that we are pursuing. And to be honest, the other guys, I mean, like, I don't think they want to rule it, to be honest. The other guys are meaning the DA. I don't think they really want to rule.
They can't.
The status quo, it for them, it suits them. I mean, like, ideally, nothing has changed. Okay, you can say some things have changed, but
It's the same shit. They
I
just
don't
have
think-
their
I
own
don't
town
think-
there.
you
They
see,
just have their own thing. Do you know these motherfuckers have a
The
place called
DA
Orania?
on its own, it's
They don't want to rule.
imploding without any.
It's dying a natural
Thank
cause.
you.
Of course.
But these people are okay. They don't have a problem. You
With
gave
the
them their own
African
province.
National Congress.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
They're okay.
I don't think they want to rule anything because the status quo is okay for them. It suits them. Like to them, okay, fine. Actually, we are doing our own disaster management by ourselves.
On our own. We're fucking
And then
ourselves in the ass.
Exactly.
On our
And then
own.
they're just looking, laughing.
And they're laughing like these fucking monkeys are just gonna fuck it up.
But it's sad, you know. It's
It's
sad.
very sad.
Even what's happening now, you know, it's sad. Like, I always say, I voted for. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I voted for. I voted for ANC nationally and EFF. You know,
But that's such a contradiction.
yes, I'm conflicted. You see, that's the point.
But you don't reach anywhere. It's like you're trying to go left, but
I
you
think
go
that-
right at
I
the
don't
same
want-
time.
I don't wanna
You
vote.
need to split your body.
That means I didn't want to vote,
But you wanted to
felt-
fuck it up.
I mean, like, okay. ANC has done things for me to be where I am. You understand?
Better the devil that I know.
Yeah. So
So you recognize what it has
But
done.
there
I
is
recognize
There
the
is
bursary that they
an
gave
angel on
study.
standby.
You understand? And not
Was
only
it a
me,
bursary or a loan? Which one? Not
it was
Tefsa.
Tefsa then, remember, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
He just gave away his age. Tefsa was like a long time ago. Yeah. Also, my first year I did with Tefsa migrating to Nfsas. I think it was,
When it was bringing away and
2002.
stuff.
Yeah, when they were. I don't know what they were trying to do. I didn't even understand the systems that
The
time.
Tefsa system was okay because then me, I'm in the medical side. So you finish your degree, where they started paying, you serve those years, and then you have to serve them. You don't pay them.
Also, you don't give it back.
No,
because
you
they
have
still
to go.
you know,
You have to go wherever they
tell you to go to.
Yes.
to go and serve the community for those particular years that they paid for.
'Cause
If
that-
it's 6 years, it's 6 years. If it's 4 years, it's 4 years.
In our
Which
case,
is a better way instead of paying money.
No, but
where we need skills in certain areas, but
but you're
you can't-
busy trying to pay them off. But because in my case, I'm still been billed for this thing. I can opt. It's just that I'm
No,
using
you're
this
not.
thing.
You're not the only one.
Yeah,
What
there's
is
a
it,
statement they sent me. They're still billing me, but I've been paying.
No,
I've been paying because I believe. You know, the day I realized this thing is serious is when the kids were doing fees must fall, and I realized maybe I'm also part of the problem because I've not been paying the TEFSA. So maybe the TEFSA can also pay. I mean, the Nfsas now what they call it.
Nfsas, yeah.
Maybe that money that I'm paying can also improve. Can also
But the problem is the
reduce the
billing.
feeing,
Their billings, the billing and the interest.
and there will be corruption on the other side.
It's like you're paying a credit, but let's say you're paying 10,000 rand. 5 years down the line, you're still paying 10,000 rand.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I
So I
still-
don't know. I don't know what's the problem.
You're right, because I don't know why I still owe. Because they even did a garnish order on me, I think in 2008. But I last used the thing in 2003. So they found me, I think they
The
found me
mentality
through the text.
on that issue was each one teach one.
Yeah.
You understand?
And some of us
We will
wouldn't teach
you,
others.
You will refund it, and then we can teach somebody else.
But some of us can't
Now,
afford
blade
to.
sounds so confused.
But the problem now is the same people that got Nfsas, they want to pay back, but they are not working. They're graduates, but they can't.
Or
And
they
then
can't
that
afford.
interest, remember, it doesn't.
It keeps piling up.
It doesn't. Whenever I get
Are
a
they
job,
going to be blacklisted?
No, they're not allowed to. They're not allowed
If you
to.
can help me with 150, 150, I'll be good to go.
100.
For my stock fair at Sunday due date.
today is Sunday.
Do we look
You
like
mean
the
next
Reserve
week?
Bank?
Today is Sunday. It's not Sunday.
It's
She means,
Sunday.
you mean next week?
Today.
Oh, okay.
We're all broke, yeah. We also need a stock fair.
So you'll never finish with your credit.
Yeah,
To
because
be
I
honest.
think I
Unless
owe them
if you've got a
3K
big
or something.
lump sum, and then you negotiate, guys, I'm owing you 50,000. Can I pay 40,000? Then you cancel the credit.
But at the rate when they started coming after me, the garnish order, they didn't ask, obviously, because they thought I was being disrespectful. But well, I was not focusing on repaying them, and they did help me. I mean, my first year when I went to tertiary, I went
No, I won't lie.
I went to school to thing. What's this thing? It was called Witwatersrand Technikon.
Just technical then.
Which is now known as UJ, University of Johannesburg. So I realized at the end of thing, after getting my results, that I don't have money. We can't afford the house to go to take me to this institution. And I've got two choices. I can sit there in Venda, go study in one of the institutions there, or I make a plan. I just asked my folks to hook me up with transport money. At least, luckily, my neighbor gave me information about the Nfsas. Yeah, then we came here into this town. We squatted. I remember we squatted for a week or two. One of the presses there. As every day when we wake up, we'll go try to find a way and go try to prove that we're poor. Yeah, and then I finally got it. And then I had to move out, and then they got me a hotel, and I went to stay, whatever. So they sorted me out for a good year, proper. You know, the difference between my one, which was at an Nfsas level, and your one is that you guys used to manipulate the money. We couldn't even manipulate any money because they would pay directly. I remember they would, even if the biggest bookshop in that town was Bramfontein Fund.
They used to do that, but
They would pay the bookshops directly. But you guys, you would say, I want money for the books, and then they give you, and then you drink it.
What they'll do is, okay, they pay for the books and stuff, and the food. There was a cafeteria inside there.
And they give you a meal card.
They give you a milk card.
And I think that's still operational. That's still then.
But when you run out of funds, they will reload whatever you. And if you don't use, At the end of the year,
it
you
goes
get
back.
the money back to you.
Nobody never
I remember some
not
point
reuse.
in 1999, I got something like 15,000 rand
Wow.
in December.
Fuck.
That was like in
Wait, you mean reuse? Okay, I'm lost.
No.
You mean, how do I explain that?
They were allocating us money for the year. So they can tell me, okay, fine, we gave you 20,000 rand to buy textbook. Maybe I've got some free textbooks, old textbooks from family. I can take you as a student, go and buy those textbooks, and you pay me 70% of that money. Cash. It was corruption.
And the
by way.
most overpriced books ever.
Exactly.
By the way,
Where were they getting them from?
We were buying them in
usually
Pretoria.
there's a first guy who buys,
Yeah.
and it keeps circulating from
So-
generation to generation.
But when they
Every year.
when they allocate you the money, like if you use the book, it's not like somebody's gonna say you passed, so you must give these books to this. So and so.
It's not like
which,
that.
What should have happened anyway?
No,
So
but
that they don't-
the ownership of the books was not sitting with the institution.
that's-
So you can just go. I remember I still have some books. I regretted why I didn't sell them. I think I've got worth $5,000 worth of books at that time's thingy. But then I realized no, because maybe I still need to read them. I don't know, but I don't like reading anymore.
So my point is like ANC, which we're talking about. I'm conflicted because actually, even if they gave me a bursary, but I fought for it. You see what I'm saying? In terms
No,
of
how
I
did you
looked
fight
for
for
it. You those times were bad because I remember.
What year was this? Oh, I mean, on your
It
side.
was 1990, 2000. 1999, 2000. So I literally.
What did you fight? You didn't fight anything. These guys are the ones who fought.
No. To get the bursary, there was a lot of corruption.
Oh!
So I literally had to leave Pretoria, go to Limpopo health department. I remember this guy, he was the bursary officer. I went there. I was like, no, my name is Issaya. I gave my student card. My family is suffering. The 3 guys who are in university. Okay, my parents are working, but they can't afford 3 of us.
It's impossible.
So the guy was in the office, but he's told the secretary that no, it's not available. But the office, when I was sitting here, the office was.
You could see
I could. It's closed.
Correct.
You know, I stayed there until 4 o'clock. Until he was knocking off. When he opened the door, he found me sitting there. It's like,
Because
are
you
still
know what
here?
you want, yeah.
Are you still here? Like, Joe, it's 4 o'clock. I have to take a train back to Pretoria.
no petty crafting.
Yeah, no, I didn't have.
I'm sure
I have to
you're
take a
probably
train.
even hungry.
Those days there were trains, you know, every day from
Tshabalala.
Mekar, whatever, yeah. I had to take a
Tshabalala.
train. And then he said, you know what, give me a student card. Give me your ID. On Monday, when I went, the bursary officer computer said my name was there. And I got the
So he actually felt the fact that you sat there
I
for
sat there
that time.
for the whole day.
So you know this motherfucker is a hustler. It's a fucking hustler. Okay, well, and these are the small fights that we have to go through. Because, for example, even me, if I've got a problem with maybe an institution or a bank, whatever, I go there. I dedicate a day
Exactly.
or 2 or a week to say, and then that's right. When I'm touch it, and I'm here. I'm not going
for
anywhere.
the cost that I did.
Yeah, for whatever I believe
Because
that I need to do.
you believe you're right.
Yeah. So now we've got that freedom. But back in the day, you guys couldn't pull that off because they're gonna say you're extremists, you are terrorists, you are here to
You're not following
to hold
the-
us on
the-
ransom.
yes.
You know.
There's nothing like a one-man strike.
Yeah.
That is,
You have to-
you are defying the system.
Oh, yes.
No, the-
And the system is better fighting alone because then you're setting a precedent. Because you're setting a precedent alone because I don't believe, because I want to tell the others, look, I went there. When I go back to the end of Joe, I went to that guy. His name is Maswanganyi. Go to Maswanganyi and go and sit there. He's
Udwamba nine.
going to give you the bazaar. And people went there. The money was there. He said that, you know,
They just
sometimes
decide
can
on what to
relax
put
and
on.
doing things, yeah. But the money was there. So in a way, I'm conflicted. Like my brother was saying, because I benefited Now I don't know where I belong. I think I belong in the ANC. As much as
He says he thinks.
yeah, as much as I
want to
would-
correct the
That's what matters. What he thinks is a
So,
I mean,
is he lying to himself or to us?
he can't lie to himself. He doesn't listen to himself.
So what is it? You need to, are you in between the fence?
let me try to be smart. I know I'm not smart. A lot of I'm gonna be politically correct. So-called academics or semi-academics, whatever, to for us to get pushed into the system, whether private or public, is the ANC that pushed us, even if you don't acknowledge.
So you are ANC.
Yeah, I am. I think
Based on your beliefs on the movement
yes, on the policies.
and the policies.
Yes, but doesn't mean the execution of the policies I agree with. But I think
Well, baby.
He's trying to run around this thing. So, but no.
Not running around.
no, but
Okay.
I'm not running around. I'm
Okay.
telling you the truth.
Okay.
He knows, I like his mentality.
Okay.
He knows where we are and why we are here and where we come from. That to me is
what
very
matters.
important.
Because people of today, most of them, these new ones, the ones that are too excited, you see them dancing all over the weekend here, drinking and thing. They don't know what the fuck is going on in this country.
No, they know how to conduct a party.
They know how to organize a party. Nowadays they even have things like sex parties and shit. Like these people are so, they are like living in an American life, so fake and they don't
During
even know.
Julia's time,
But I'm gonna come with it.
we had a kissing party. You
Kissing,
remember?
yeah. White party and stuff. But if
No, that was just an acronym. What do you mean? It was an acronym.
I mean exactly what I say.
It stood for keep it straight
No,
and simple.
No,
Yeah, it was. KISS was standing for keep it straight and simple.
It was
It was not a party.
practical and
Yeah, you're
Do you
duting us.
remember that?
Yeah, he's duting us.
but the
No, you're
I understand the way he
It
explains it.
is trapping an innuendo.
It's the way
No,
he explains
I'm not buying this shit.
But what can we do? What can we do? Like today, I was
Data.
this guy is selling books there. It's bad. Like when you go,
Sorry, man. I don't have anything. But the thing is, my man, the other day we were talking about this thing on the inside. You know me, and I'm here all the time, and you don't have to hustle me every day. Yeah. To be honest with you, with all due
For now,
respect.
it's like I'm just trying to research like.
Nobody buys those things. That's why you have them in your hand. Somebody threw them away, and you pick them up, and you're thinking they're valuable. This guy probably has internet at his house. You probably have internet. There's something called Netflix. And Netflix has got all those things inside it. And these guys, they pay Netflix every month. They just press a button to play those things. So it's outdated. This is equivalent to selling us a cassette. Yeah.
so I was at the
Sure,
spa.
sure. And if I wanna look you up later on, but
Yeah, now I get that.
so don't hustle me at that level. Sure,
So
sure.
I was just spa. There's this guy who's selling books. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'm buying my sister this and these chips and stuff. Go to him, I'm like, you know what? I need a book that's gonna tell me about ethnicity in South Africa, where it started and why we scattered everywhere. Especially, I was interested.
This is interesting.
I was interested in the Pedi
Ethnicity.
ethnicity, where it comes from.
And then how far did you go with it?
He said he's got a book about African history, but somehow it's got some remnants of South African history and stuff. I'm like, no, I want the book that's gonna talk to where me. I'm vendor,
I'm also a vendor.
yeah, but my name was changed. The surname was changed into Pedi in a way because I don't know why.
They usually do that. Like I think they can't spell it properly.
No. But my parents ran
Was it
away
deliberate?
Deliberate, yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a story there behind it.
Okay.
But my point is that I wanted that book to tell me the ethnicity, why are we so scattered around it? I just wanted the history. Because my son asked me, Papa, like my surname is Mukhufi. Mukhufi is like Mukhufi, but we've got our brothers who is VHI.
What is your original vendor surname?
Mukhufi. Mukhufi.
Oh, okay.
We're from Mwaweni Mulema, that side.
Oh, okay, no, I see.
So
Amadima is the place where Glenn Lewis wanted me a song and he said Amadima.
yeah,
Is this? Well, it was like a kindergarten sing-along type of thing, but
so
the thing that got it popular was through Glenn Lewis.
because it was a Mulema.
It was, that's his should I say it's your father's land? Where they come?
From my mother's
Your mother's side, okay.
Yeah. So, can you give me? Do you have that? Funny enough, when I was looking at the books, it's all romance, like you were selling. It's romance, which is fine because maybe that's the thing. It's romance. I'm not a novel reader, by the way. I don't know what tricked me like to go and ask specifically. It's because my son asked me, like he always asks me, well, why is this one talking Zulu but we are all black? This one is talking Shangani. This one is talking white. So I wanted to get that book and go and give it to him so that he can read while we are so scattered. By the way, it was way of division anyway. We know, I know that.
So it was strategic from the old.
They called it diversity.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So I wanted that book, but I couldn't get it.
So it's what you call divide and what?
And rule.
And rule.
Divide and rule.
Yeah.
It was what was used for us to split, right?
Do you know how many Tshabalala? Do you know how many Tshabalala?
Who scored the first one?
Look at the Zulu and
We just know the one guy
with a V. You've got the Tshabalala with a T in
which
there.
doesn't make sense.
See, I'm answering your question. We're not the one who scored the first World Cup goal in South Africa. It's related to you.
There you go.
But either way, what I was saying is like, maybe we should, these kids, we should try and help them to focus. I don't know how to help them.
They're not going to listen to it. I don't think they see any value. I mean, I think they're worried about other problems.
Why are you judging the kids on the negative?
No,
Why would they
look,
not
I think
see
these
anything?
guys won't even sustain this planet in the next 200 years. They'll struggle.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Actually, I'm scared. I don't agree
Well,
with you.
you'll
I'm
be dead,
scared.
but I mean,
Yes,
they
because
don't
I'll
give
be
a fuck.
dead and then
This-
they'll be alone.
These people, you can ask them. The other day, I was sitting at a salon here somewhere. Oh, those kids, they believe in those things of saying 5G causes coronavirus. And they believe that, I'm like, Evan, can you go read on wavelength thing? And I would expect these young kids to have
to be
answers
like,
to
yeah,
the stereotypes
internet is there and stuff.
and conspiracy theories. I would expect them to dissect them and debunk them, you know?
But how do
You
you
just
make
tell
them be interested?
Nobody, they don't give a fuck. They don't give
But
a
we
fuck.
can.
How? How? Because they're gonna say you're boring. They're gonna say you're.
So the history dies with us.
We're fucked now. They're not even probably gonna read the books. They're just gonna Google. And nowadays we're having this thing of relying on Google so much that we think that all information is correct in Google. Somebody can put wrong information in Google and then it can be
stays
the
there
right
forever.
thing.
Yeah,
It stays there forever, but you can Google something that is wrong, which looks like it's right, and then it keeps
But if you're
circulating.
not looking at it critically,
If you don't use your brain, you'll think that fucking 5G causes flu.
but it's,
Like if you use logic, I'm not
but
even a
it's- I think
scientist,
it's
but
the way-
this is
it's
the
the-
most stupid thing ever in the
but
world.
I think it's the way I don't want to put God and Christianity on top of it, but the way the older generation were made, and me and I think I'm older than you, maybe like
You sound like you're 2 years older than me.
Yeah, two
I'm
or three.
37. You sound like you're
I'm
40.
40, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I did my
So like the way we look at the way we look at life is different from generation to generation. You know, there are things that interest us. There are things that don't interest. He probably is got in their generation. There were things that were interest, like he had interest in them. Even myself, when I was growing up, you know, there were things that were interest of us. Even yourself, even if we're the same, you know, decade. But even now the kids, okay, let's give them some thumbs up. They're good with technology. Like my 3-year-old.
They're smart. They're smart,
yes.
but let alone on that smartness, they're not sharp. Like they're not like aware.
The awareness part of it.
Yeah, I mean, these kids you can give them a tablet
Gadget, yeah.
that you have never used. They can crack it proper, you know.
But that's a skill.
Yeah.
There is something that you guys are missing. At this age and time, you've got children. What do you expect?
I don't know about you.
From
I've got,
them?
I mean,
He says we've got children. I said,
Yeah,
no,
I've got 4.
He's got 4. Yeah. And then maybe you also tell us how many you have.
I've got 7.
the ones that he knows.
Only 7. And now
He's got 17 children all over the world. All over the world.
The ones
he
that
tells
he,
me.
the ones that he
The ones that he knows.
you know. Why? Is that funny?
Yeah, that's like weird. You think it's normal? What the fuck?
My father told me to diversify and be fruitful.
And
What
then-
is your problem?
Next time when your son marries, the Makoti will come with the let's say your surname is
Next time is
and then the Makoti. It's not the surname. The name is Mutaung. And you're like, oh, your name is Mutaung, but our surname is Mutaung. Something doesn't make sense here.
I mean, all over the world.
Does
So,
it have to make
no,
sense?
ask him about the family reunion.
How can you
I'm
take
sure it's like a soccer
something
match.
so natural and make it so artificial?
No, but I'm sure your family reunion. The other day you said you left here and you said like your kids your grandchildren at home, whatever. I was about to ask, is it the one team or is it
the other team. They play
is
for
it the whole
There is
PSL?
no one team and other team.
the substitutes
It's
as well.
my team.
The whole thing is like teams. It's like 1 million people here. How do you manage this
Half
thing?
Chinese, half colored, half
But you
white.
see,
There you go.
I
He's exposing
I
this.
respect one
Yeah.
thing about that generation. No matter how many kids they had, they were always there for the kids.
Maybe let's ask
Equally-
him. Were you always there for all of them?
Equally
For all
so.
of them.
Of course.
All 17 kids all over the world. How do you manage this thing? And how much money do you need to
It doesn't
sustain
need
this shit?
How can you take something so natural and make it so artificial?
Monetary.
Yeah, but, okay, well, let's say.
Now,
Okay, where's the
come on.
furthest child in the world?
Canada.
What if he's sick? Would he go?
Married
is it he or
to
she?
a Chinese woman.
It's a guy. So when he's sick, would you fly there and
When I'm sick,
when he needs you? I mean, well, I'm just using a stupid example like when he's sick, but I mean, when he needs you to be there, would you fly every time?
that's what you don't understand.
Make us understand.
He knows. Your son there knows that you care about him. You don't have to tell him.
I know where I come from.
Exactly.
I know what I am. And when my child was deployed in Canada, I told him that you have done something that no Tshabalala has done.
Wait. He was deployed from where? Where was he coming from?
From South Africa.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's a different
He's
argument.
an engineer.
Ah, okay. No, that's a different. I thought maybe you went to Canada and you bombed and then you got kicked.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's
But all these kids you made them when you were here and then they left.
Of course.
Oh, I thought you were planting seeds all over the
all
world.
over as an exile.
That boy you met last time,
Yeah,
I
the
told
one,
you is my last boy. Out of the 17.
He's like 20 something.
You must teach us how to do it because maybe because the women in your generation are not the same women as in our generation.
Women are women, they all have prejudices.
No.
So you're gonna paint all of them with the same brush?
Don't simplify it. Tell
I'm
us.
not
Tell us.
simplifying.
Simplify it.
Baba, how can you simplify fucking?
No. You know, I said I've got 4 kids. Ne? I discovered my firstborn.
Only 4.
Yeah, only 4.
That he knows of.
When he's failing the nation.
It's not like you. He doesn't have 17 yet. So fuck, you're gonna influence us to do this because maintenance is also expensive. Fuck, I mean, money is difficult nowadays.
We've got grants.
No, but you can rely on grants. Yeah. No. I wouldn't honestly.
That's why I'm saying
I don't want to
life
grants,
at that
man.
time was relaxed, and not relaxed per se, but things were at the steady progress. You know, you
can get away with.
You can get away with a lot of
recording
things.
this shit.
Yeah, and it's getting exciting. It's getting exciting.
I discovered my firstborn 10 years.
Oh fuck! You discovered like you didn't know that she was pregnant.
I'm a discoverer, like gold.
Fuck, you didn't know. Rafa, you know this.
It's like gold.
what the fuck? Are you
I
serious?
discovered gold. Yeah. The thing is,
Explain, please.
come and explain. You won't understand.
Don't mind me laughing with a soprano voice.
So
This guy just discovered that he has got.
this girl,
Wait.
she had a lot of guys and stuff. So we had sex and stuff. So she thought the baby's probably not me, but the other guy, whoever he was.
So this happened like in one week.
She's 17 now. She's in matric.
Wait. I want to understand. Like, so it means that she slept with you and him.
Yeah, it's probably
in one
a
day
lot
or
of
one
guys. Yeah, maybe in a week or 2 weeks.
week. And then she's
So
confused.
she was not sure who's the father.
I think she graduated as a professional prostitute.
Yes, no, she probably was. So what happened is, then the child lived in another village. But villages, there are people who are moving from one village to the other. They're like telling,
Yeah, it's because of the smoke.
telling my dad,
Cancer.
no, there's this child there,
He
in that
looks
village.
like.
He looks like this thing. The child was not alone. My father discovered.
They can
So
see,
I
Ray,
could
this is
discover.
my
He was
grandchild.
supporting the child. My father was supporting him without letting me know, because I had a girlfriend who's my wife.
Wait a minute. So your father discovered that you've got a daughter elsewhere, and then he supported the child, and then not tell you,
Did not tell me.
and that's when you discovered.
The child hoped.
Yeah. What's this? Hey, my man, you look like
No, the child
guys
hope-
from the Wild Wild West.
Walked in our home on Christmas.
Yes,
The child walked in our home on Christmas, and everybody started crying because the child looks like all
It's
of
our
them.
Ndiwahash.
Yes. And then my father was just sitting there, like not surprised, observing the situation.
And he didn't talk. He never
He
told you.
confessed.
You've got a
He
great
confessed
father.
that he was told, but remember, you can be told by another villager that you are friends with. That this child looks like 1, 2, 3. Remember those days? DNA
And your
stuff.
father stood by your side.
No, he supported the child. I don't
Remember,
know if that's
his father was micromanaging the system before he knew.
Of course, he knew better.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm grateful because
And he made
I am grateful because the child won't turn around and say
Exactly.
you were not there. We were not there. That's what I'm saying. Because this kid
being recognized by the elder of the family is uncomparable.
because the child might say next time, you never supported me. You were not there for me. No, but my father.
Because apparently the elders can recognize the kids so easily, just by looking at them. But these people have got enough intelligence to identify DNA by looking at the facial recognition
These
software.
binoculars, they just look at.
Yeah, but they can't put even airtime from the sleep at the garage. What the fuck?
Because let me give you the reason. because they know you when you were young.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it's so surprising
And
that
the
child,
comparatives
now you
are
see-
And
there.
it is like a copy and paste.
look at the clips now. When the child came, I was buried. Now the child looks like me. I'm like, okay. Now what happened?
Oh,
DNA
so
test.
they see you at your age
Yeah.
when you were being born.
No,
Okay,
no,
well, it makes
And
sense.
no self-respecting child will decide to look like him.
Yeah, well, they've got no choice.
So I'm like, now DNA or not DNA? Look, here the child was grown. Papa, I want the DNA. I don't want to doubt myself.
But you can see this thing looks
Who
like
says
it.
But we did a DNA.
Who
anyway.
says it?
The child said, no, I don't want to doubt myself.
Okay.
No, but can't the child see that this creature looks like this
If you,
creature?
if you look at the child, she's like me, but she was like, no. We
Oh,
have to do a
she's-
DNA, and then
Yeah,
I need to belong.
She's been stubborn.
Yeah, I need to belong and.
I mean,
believe-
DNA is like $2,000.
Yeah, 2.5. man.
2.5, yeah.
That's nothing.
I'm sure you've done a lot of DNAs. All the 17 kids of yours, how many DNAs did you do?
I had a grandmother
Who comes and do the
who will
generic
just
one?
look at the child.
You had a genetic. Look, he had a genetic DNA, which is a genetic on its own.
Like, oh, you're going to ningo ya we
When my grandmother goes there and farts away,
But I think the grandmothers, they say they can identify.
they can.
It's the same thing that is, you know that it's, thanks for telling us that part. I've struggled to understand how they know. So it means that they just know you from childhood and they can see you
Yes.
again from your child.
They can see the you in
If
the
they don't see you,
baby.
if they don't see you again, it means that you're fucked. It's another motherfucker who made a child with your chick.
I don't know how.
Coming gone.
Yeah.
She never give me no cash.
Guys, can I go now?
I need to. I have
Yes,
to go. But guys, thanks to meet you, to invade your conversation while I was sitting there. I was smiling alone.
And
I'm
I enjoy-
can't-
Oh, you're overhearing.
Yeah.
Each and every minute.
I was supposed to. It's something that I do. I'm a DJ, so but nowadays, since we're not busy, I do stuff like podcasting. We call it. My name is Nippy. Nippy Cast. We call it Nippy Cast. This is the 4th episode. So today I was supposed to meet Barry, but he was busy.
You are
doing
going
some
to
stuff.
edit this shit, man.
We don't edit this raw. You're fucked.
but the visuals are with
Everything.
you.
I'm going to shave,
I'm not in the
and
video.
this will not look like me.
Yeah, then you can change and stop looking like fucking Samuel L. Jackson. Maybe the South African version.
Who cares?
So yeah, what I do is, okay, maybe I should just tell you because you wouldn't speak. You just overheard our dialogue.
Yeah.
So Barry was not available for it. Barry had stories from the 90s and Y2K and how he made his millions and all this and how he got broke.
Who's
from the
that?
Millions. Barry, he was here. He's the guy who came, the Indian guy.
He made millions.
Yeah, but I was interested on this story.
And
But he was
lost
not
them.
here. Yeah, he was, I think he went through divorce. So I was interested in that. But it's not clever to lose that. You could have just rejuvenated your
Very
company.
clever.
Well, I'm not going to be opinionated about it. So, and then, so when I didn't see him coming in, and then I know me and you can talk at this level. That's why I asked you. And then obviously you overheard our conversation and you joined us. So I'll broadcast this thing. And then,
No, it's a
yeah,
good-
and that's it.
It's
The point is,
enlightening.
How much are we going to?
we don't have money.
I don't know.
We don't have money, but
I don't believe in free education.
we don't have. The podcast is struggling, Chief.
So, okay.
Like, look, remember, I'm a DJ and I've never had a gig for a
He's
year.
going to make money.
We'll look at him on the.
He
I
will
don't know
never. Looking does
So you don't
not
trust me?
give you dividends when
So you don't trust me? But I don't know. I'm probably
But
the most broke motherfucker in the world.
It's entrepreneur. Like you're gonna broadcast it and see the reaction of people and stuff.
Yeah, no, I want people to get used to this type of dialogues. We have them every single time. I mean, I've known you for like a year now, sitting here at the pub. But we have this dialogue, intellectual dialogue like this. that nobody gets to view because they don't come here,
yeah.
or they go and sit somewhere.
Because or we don't have a paper to produce that, or a political analyst or something like that.
Oh, well, I don't know, whatever. But I feel like there's a lot of information that we trade amongst each other. I think we sound like intellectuals, but we don't portray it to the others. And then I think that's what we need to start spreading.
It's a smart move. We must
Start spreading.
must get out of it.
No, we're gonna have to find someone. Somehow, somebody will be watching
Right
this thing.
from the onset, I told you.
Yeah. But
somehow, somebody can probably
can
find a way
relate
to fund.
and
Even either relating to it or funding it or whatever. I don't. If they don't, we're gonna keep running. I mean, it doesn't cost us a lot of money to sit here. Okay, wait. It costs us money to buy this.
and the whiskey. And by the way, it was on him. I heard you saying something.
Yes, that's what he said. And
At least
then,
got something.
and the next one.
Okay, guys.
He's gonna use this shit against me.
I hope to see you next
Nice
time.
meeting
Are you gonna have to tell me your name again? 'Cause
Issaya
I need to-
Madikane.
Issaya Madikane.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, sure.
you.
Then
You've
cool.
got such an open mind.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
And I had the conversation.
Should I end this one?
Yeah,
I'm
you can
ending
end.
it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, guys.